13 Things That Suck About Living in Japan, the American Edition. Things I hate now or used to. So smash that like and ring the bell. Awesome news today too, definitely check out the new channel that just launched. The first video is up of me going to the Isekai Museum here in Japan. Definitely subscribe over there for more anime in Japan videos coming soon, potentially live streams too. But anyway, things that suck about Japan. Paying with cash. Definitely let me know the situation in your country. Back in the US, I would actually pay in cash maybe like once a year max. After moving to Japan, that completely changed. Cash is king here. Or maybe I should say coins. What's crazy is that I recall going to a McDonald's in a major area and being told, sorry, cash only. Keep in mind most hole-in-the-wall places like ramen shops or izakayas tend to be cash only too. At this point, I've pretty much been converted. I even got a special wallet that makes managing coins that much more easier. As a positive to this, Japan has fast-tracked moving to various electronic payments almost everywhere. Timely enough, I heard that you could actually thank the Olympics for Japan pushing the transition over. The fax machine. I mentioned this last video and you might have already heard complaints about it, so I'm gonna keep this short. Why Japan? Please kill off these mechanical dinosaurs. Japanese-sized stuff. You're not going to be surprised, Japan is made for Japanese-sized people. So you might find yourself having to hunch over in the bathroom to wash your hands. You gotta be careful not to hit your head on the doorways. You're likely not going to find clothing that fits you. And after finishing a meal, you're going to find yourself still hungry. Even worse, I have heard from female friends that shopping and buying clothing is especially difficult. So good luck. And I do feel some places are ultra small. So imagine if you're a head taller than everyone else, you're gonna have to be on your guard at all times. At this point, I've either gotten used to it or don't really notice it as much. But here's my worst experience, which was actually on a trip trying to ride one of the local buses. The seats there were definitely Japanese granny sized. I think my ass almost got stuck in the fricking chair. The apartment walls. Thankfully, I've been able to live within various spots within Tokyo. The common issue with all of them? Very thin walls. Which means you get very acquainted with your neighbors. You could hear the details of their conversation, you know what Japanese game show they're watching, what's his favorite hub, when they flush the toilet, what they could be cooking for dinner. Unfortunately, it's been a constant thing throughout every single apartment. You want thicker walls? It'll cost you. And it still may not block out everything. Maybe I should just count my blessings. One of my Japanese friends lives in the stereotypical Japanese apartment. Throughout the week, you could actually hear the couple above doing it constantly. It's gotten so bad that he had to call the police twice. I mean, come on guys, go to a love hotel. As for any positives about this, honestly I can't think of any. And sure, this problem isn't unique to only Japan. So much plastic. And don't get me wrong, I don't even consider myself this plastic freak that's trying to eliminate plastic. I think I recycle like most people I know. But plastic in Japan is on a whole nother level. And don't even get me started on freaking Uber Eats, which I do abuse. And in general, Japan seems to go overboard on packaging for things. On the flip side, as a positive, since the whole lockdown happened, Tokyo no longer gives you a free plastic bag. You're encouraged to bring your own or buy the 10-cent one. You can let me know how the situation is for your area. On top of this, from all the years I lived here, Japan has always been super strict on the practices for sorting your trash recyclables. The expensive fruit. Being from California, this really is a kick to the cherries. If you go to a Japanese supermarket, you see the fruit being perfect. While that's awesome, the price is also going to be several times what you're paying back home. For example, strawberries. I think I bought strawberries here twice, and I really had to talk myself into splurging. I'm sure you've seen some melons costing up to $100, watermelons costing so much. I've been here for a few years and I still haven't bought a freaking watermelon yet. Come on, in California this stuff was so cheap. On the flip side, as a positive, I may sound dumb, but it actually has made me appreciate fruit that much more. Yeah, half glass full. And at the very least, you are guaranteed to get something that looks amazing and also tastes amazing too. My sad workaround is really just to go for frozen stuff, like strawberries or other berries. Thankfully, things like bananas or avocados are still cheap or reasonably priced. I will also add, if you are lucky enough to live next to a farmer's market, you could actually find some discounted fruit and save quite a bit. Gyms in Japan, they are a luxury. Naturally, being from California, from the LA area, there is no shortage of gyms there. Like a Go's gym in Japan is going to set you back, what, $150, $200 a month for the cheapest basic plan. And I know you're going to say, Jerry, but that's a Go's gym. So okay, there's actually a chain here called Anytime Fitness. Go ahead, take a guess at the price. They're mostly known for having a ton of cardio machines and light dumbbells. $90 fricking. It does suck, but the reality is that working out, and especially building muscle, is still very much seen as a luxury. My positive for this, after Rona shut down gyms here for a while, it actually cost me not to renew my membership. Instead, I went ahead and just did a home gym setup. That's right, totally going free weights. And sure, there is a limit to what I could do in my tiny Japanese apartment, but it's not like I'm trying to look like The Rock. The weather. You could imagine being from California that really just stays around the same weather year round. Japan, shocker, it actually has seasons, including several rainy months. Imagine going from like no rain to super wet. Yeah, let's just say a lot of my clothing was not suitable for this. I recall my shoes getting totally destroyed. What do you mean they're not waterproof? In the wintertime, Tokyo does get pretty cold. It was very brief, but I think it was actually the first time I saw snow. Then for the summer right now, which you might be thinking, Jerry, you're from a desert, you should be used to that. Except that Tokyo heat tends to get humid, which is different from the dry Cali heat. The flip side to this, my positives, I have actually come to enjoy the rain. For the freezing times, I really just needed to get a wind-resistant jacket. That's like a lifesaver. For the summertime, thankfully unlike California, all apartments here do come with AC. Tend to have that blasting all summer long. Trains in Japan, specifically the rush hour. And don't get me wrong, I could say a million great things about having this reliable train system. Here's what sucks. I'm sure you've seen the pictures or videos online of this train guy trying to shove someone inside the train so they could just close the damn door. Let me just confirm, that's real. I've seen it countless times. Just imagine that during Rona times. Unfortunately, the trains are still packed, which is really why I do whatever I can to avoid the train during peak hours. I actually used to have classes here early in the morning, but even then that was after 9 AM. While it was still crowded, I wasn't glued to the next person. Till today, I think I still got PTSD from the time I forgot about rush hour. I went inside, everyone pushed in, and I got crushed. If the guy in front of me was not wearing pants, this would have been him after a few months. The flip side to this, despite the packed times, honestly I could say I love the train system here. As a Californian, I much more prefer this to being in traffic for 2+ hours. Most Japanese buddies I know don't even have a license. Thankfully, the reliable train system can get you to all major spots here in Japan. It really feels like you could freely go anywhere. Hell, I got rid of my car as soon as I could. The theaters here. I don't know about where you live, but these things are expensive as hell, even compared to LA pricing, which really sucks for me since I love going to the movies. In Shinjuku where I live, there's like 5+ theaters in one area. On the other hand, the price for a ticket is like $20, the base fee. I can't even use my student discount anymore. Besides the price, the credits. Japanese people are, polite, patient enough to wait till the end when the lights get turned on. Which means if you're center seating, have fun waiting till the end. No problem if it's something like Avengers, otherwise phone time. On top of this, for whatever reason, Japan seems to wait an awfully long time for Hollywood movies. Like we barely got Godzilla vs. King Kong. I mean, what the hell? Although I could hear you already, you get all the anime movies. So I think it's worth the trade-off. The flip side to this, thankfully the theaters are always super clean. You could also take advantage of the latest day discount on Wednesdays. If you're confused as to why I bring this up, thankfully one of the major theaters here has expanded that discount to everyone on Wednesday. Awesome! Japan's bread. My spoiled ass back in California was able to get up to 50 options at the grocery store for bread. You can let me know how it is for your area. It could be a more specific Cali thing where healthy food is in an ultra high demand. Now compare that to Japan where for bread options you have like a few different ones. Like the bread section at my local market, half of that was just pastries. Oh, you want wheat bread? Here you go, you got like 2 options. On top of this, good or bad, bread expires extremely quick here, like 2 or 3 days later. I think the only suitable wheat bread option I found was actually from Amazon Fresh here. But then the price plus shipping, that's like what, $10 for bread? No, I'm good bro. The flip side to this, I guess a positive is less carbs. The only actual workaround I found was actually to get wheat English muffins. So hey, I could still do avocado toast, Japan style. Limited time items. The more time passes by, it really just feels to me that Japan is built on limited time sales. Specifically for this one, items at the grocery store or konbini. Like you go to the store, you see a new item with this kanji symbol on it. It means new. At first you're like, ooh, let's try something different. Then you fall in love with it. Then like a week or 2 later, it's nowhere to be found. This new really is just code for a limited time item. Which you might be thinking, Jerry, isn't that obvious? Except, let's just say things really aren't too consistent. Sometimes you have a new product that sticks around. Other times, they're randomly gone months later. On the flip side, now I'm just mentally prepared, which means don't get attached. Especially if we notice a given item in the discount section at the end of the day. The fricking loudspeakers. This really comes in multiple forms. First off, around the major areas around Tokyo, you do see cars promoting some stuff with some loud music, often promoting their After Dark club or some J-pop group, for example. This stuff really gets annoying in the election season. You have politicians going around Tokyo spamming the hell out of this. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind it if they're really just trying to get their message out. Except this stuff is extremely loud, like ear-bustingly loud. Not to mention the mics they have are so bad you can't understand what they're saying. Bonus points if they're parked right outside of the train station. Easily the worst offender for this are some religious groups here. You could tell it's summertime since you got them driving around now. They're really just spamming that you're a sinner, you're a devil, you're gonna burn in hell. I mean, who recruited Gabby? I think it's actually worse now that I understand what the hell they're saying. And you might be thinking, Jerry, how about X problem in Japan that I've heard complaints about? Keep in mind, all of this stuff really is from my own experiences here. Comment below with anything I missed. Let me really emphasize, despite my issues, there are tons more positives for me. I could easily see myself living here till I get a Segaid. So if you want to see part 2, or the opposite, what I loved about Japan, hit that like. Can we get over 9,000 likes before next week to see that happen? As a bonus, post your question or topic about Japan below. I will be picking anywhere from 5 to 10 of them and making a video on the second channel answering them. Who knows, if your topic is good enough, it might get its own video. And a special thank you to Bookwalker for sponsoring. If you love manga or light novels, you definitely gotta check them out. It's a great way to support the series you love. And you can use my code FOXEN to get a sweet $5 discount. Like lately, I've been reading the Sailor Moon manga, which is way easier and faster to read the manga compared to watching 200 plus episodes. But anyway, definitely check out last week's juicy video on the new Netflix anime. Did Netflix just get a win? No joke. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you actually get new videos. Subscribe to the new channel below and I'll see you guys later.